Hey everyone, welcome to another day in the layout room. Cold and blustery day. Actually, we're just getting rain right now. Our snow's coming tonight through tomorrow. We got blizzard conditions coming, so we are. It's just wet and cold out there today, so it's a good day to be in and work on stuff. So, as the title said, today we are working on some cars. We're going to be doing weathering on, I'm looking at them over here, two Autoracks of four that I have to get taken care of. These were sent by one of our viewers, and I'm taking care of doing the basic weathering like I did on my Autoracks. He didn't want any graffiti on them, so we're just doing the weathering. So we are going to be doing two today. I was just going to do one, but where it takes a little while for the paint to dry, we're going to be working on the second one at the same time. Um, I was uh, I was taking a look at the car. It's not quite what I was working on with the other. This one, the top doesn't come off. The very, very top of the car doesn't come off, which the Concours do, which makes them nice to work on because then I can just have the lower body to do everything I need to do down there. That I can do the top as a separate entity. But the actual um, undercarriage just comes out with the trucks on it, and then the whole rest of the shell is solid. So it'll prove a little more of a challenge to keep the weathering separate from the roof to the bottom, but I've done that before. So we will we'll tackle through those issues.
Marcy says hello.
Well, hello there. Glad you've joined us from Florida. I'm sure you're going to be rubbing it in that you probably got 80-degree weather, and we're sitting here with. Well, actually, today's not that bad. Today's it's 50 right now, or going to be 50 today with the rain, but then it goes really cold tomorrow and tonight and tomorrow, and that's when the snow comes in.
And
So
Great Northern says good morning. Did you get much snow?
we've got no snow yet. Somebody asked if we got the snow yet. Our snow doesn't start until 7 o'clock tonight. Uh, so that means anywhere from probably like 5 to 9 it'll start here. So they usually just give us the average. So, but then we're expected to get not nearly what everybody to the north of us is getting. I mean, we got places up here in the state that are getting 30 inches of snow. So we're only expected to get 3 to 6, but because of the winds and all the blowing snow, because it's going to be really light snow, we're talking about blizzard conditions come the morning. So we'll have to see how that goes as far as everybody going to their places, Susan to work and Gabe to school. Nothing's been canceled yet, but I think they said it was going to be really hazardous travel conditions in the morning. So we'll see.
Great Northern says we probably have 8 inches still under a blizzard warning.
8 inches and still under a blizzard warning. Yeah, yeah. So I think I saw up around your area, it seemed like I saw around 12 to 16 inches forecast. So you're maybe halfway through it at this point. So I don't know. That could have changed and gotten more or less as far as what they're expecting now. So, but anyway, so today we are going to do just work on cars today. The two cars here are going to take me a couple hours to do. Excuse me. So we're going to do that. In case you missed how I do my weathering steps, you'll get to see it for the first time. Those that saw it last time, I can't remember where the video was on it. Here'll be a good review. So we will. He's going to zoom it in over here on the tabletop, and we're going to get started. We're going to start. First step is to fade everything down with the white paint, and then we just kind of go from there. So we're doing that. I'm kind of glad I'm getting back into it. I ordered a bunch of cars. Let's see, it was yesterday and this morning. So they're due in. Well, they'll probably be in later this week. I've been wanting to get these type of cars for a while. They're getting harder to find. I'm not going to say what they are just yet, but I'll show you when they come in. Because I'll probably take maybe next week into the weekend. Well, I can't do it next weekend because we're doing the train show. But so the weekend after when we do our live stream, I'll probably start working on these because these are the ones that get fantastic graffiti on them. And I've got a ton of graffiti waiting, photos to paint custom graffiti on. And these cars just hold it beautifully. They're fantastic for it. So we're going to be doing that. So this will give me some practice back into it. Not that I don't remember what I do. I always do, but it just always takes a little bit just to get back to it. We printed off, past couple of days we've been printing off more of our skid row area. We've adjusted some things. We found, I don't know, I think I found 7, 8 files that look really good for buildings for it. We found our flop house building. We found some more older style row house type things. We found some businesses. So we're going to be filling this area up completely here. Before we go today, I'll zoom in and show you some of these pieces that I have up here are going. I found a bunch. They're down here all set to go for the train show next weekend to sell. So a lot of these are up here right now, are going for sale. But I'll point all that out to you when we get to that point. So if you weren't with us on Friday, do you have the camera set to show all of it, or is it still just showing the one?
It's not showing all of it. It just shows a little bit off.
Okay, so I'll do a quick walk around before we get here, and then you can set the camera in place.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Is there anything you'd like printed?
Do you have that one all set? That replacement one, this one?
Oh, I can finish working on it and start printing it.
How much work is there left to do on it?
Just attach that guy.
Oh, is that it?
Scale it and attach it, yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe go ahead and start working on that one.
Okay.
Because I want to replace that one since that one's going to the train show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. All right. So everyone, let's, I don't know, we may run some trains later when I'm working. We'll set the camera up so I can run one underneath. But for right now, it's mostly just going to be a work session, which we haven't done in a while, like this, on doing the painting. So we will, we'll get this going. So let me do a quick walk around if you want to hang out here for a minute, and then you can get it set into place.
Let's see, Arski says, I have bad reception. I'm out painting in weather, but on 14,000 and 17,000 gallon fuel tanks.
Oh,
Jeez.
yeah.
Let's see.
Looks like you've got more thumbnails you got to take care of.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
T-Side Train Watcher says, hi.
Hello there. Today we're just gonna, I'll show everybody here in a minute, but we'll do a quick tour of everything to show you what's going, what's coming, and then we'll get to work. So let me get some of this out of the way. It's picked up. Okay, so if you weren't with us, here is now the finished Artemis Center with the 4 towers. I'll later today, before we go off, I'll get some pictures from the other side because then you can see it pictured together with the big guys. But so this is all done. This is just a temporary base. We'll be doing a much thinner base for this. I just put this up here so I could get everything in place. This is where it's going to stay. I just wanted to get kind of like a placeholder for it to show where it was. We got our little cars out front. We got a Viper, a Lamborghini, and a Tesla a truck. So that just shows the scale. Those are all in scale and done to the size. We're going to start printing the Alexandria Hotel. We've got everything set up this week after we get a few more of the buildings for our Skid Row printed. Here's where the station is now going to be sitting. It'll come out and span over the 2 tracks with an elevator and walkways that go down. No, we do not have any British locomotives just yet, but I do plan on getting a Mallard and a Coronation. Here's our elevated track right here. Now that I've got this in place, I can start working on that. Of course, here's the big bridge that we did over the past week and a half. The big bridge build is in place. I need a Kia. I think he actually printed one off. I'm not sure. We have a couple of Kias? Okay. So these are all going to the train show. We're replacing these. These are going to the train show. We're replacing those. This is all stuff that is staying with the layout right here. These are things I found in the bags and stuff and the ones we were working on last week. Those are all right there going to the train show. And of course, the 2 big guys right here are going to the train show. So that's, I've just about got those finished. I just got to finish the top on that and we're ready to go. So we've got all that. So now we're going to work on, I'll show you what we're working on today. This is some of those Kato Autoracks. We've got 2 of them right here. I've already popped the bases out as you can see back there. So we're ready to go on these. I got my brushes set out. I got my plate here, my other 2 bowls right there for the paint. I got my waters because I keep a separate water for each color. Got all my paint set up over there. I got my dabbing towel here. I'll get a couple more for the different colors as we go. Hello there. Who's that?
Oh, Carl.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Welcome. You're snowed in here. Yeah, we're going to get that tonight. Okay, so we'll get this set up and we're going to place the camera here over the track. So that's why I've got this up here. I've kind of lost all my filming areas. So when I'm doing work down here, I'm going to have to span the tracks to do it. So we'll run the stuff a little bit later. So for right now, we're just going to be setting up and starting to work on these and doing the weathering. All right, I'll get this turned around. I'll have Gabe come in.
Get a good angle.
Let's see here.
Yeah. Let's see here.
Let's watch the bridge.
Yep.
I'll tell you on the screen here how it looks.
Do this.
It's not too bad. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Almost. There. That's perfect. Oh, it's settling now. Hang on. It's a little behind. Good. A model. Yeah, model railroad
Stream.
yes.
Yeah.
That is what we're doing.
Dab, dab, dab.
Yeah, dab, dab, dab.
This is my lucky day.
All right. So, what we're doing, like I said, we'll run some trains later. But right now, I want to start getting into, let's see how this does for how this is going to look.
Oh, MLW asks, question for you. Where are you out of? Don't answer if you don't want to.
Oh, it's okay. Most people know that, we're in Wisconsin, on the border of Illinois. We're actually going to be opening up the layout come the summer, so people to be able to come run trains with us. So it's in Beloit. We're on the interstate. So we're kind of like on a main road to about 5 major cities. Chicago, Milwaukee, St. Paul, Minneapolis, St. Louis is down the road a little ways, Indianapolis. We're just kind of like right in the middle of everything. So, all right. Now, like I said, unfortunately, the top of this does not come off like the Concord does. The whole top came off, and this is here. So I'm going to have to be a little more careful when, so what I'm probably going to do is I'm probably going to start with,
MLW says, we're neighbors then, Minnesota reporting in.
Oh, good. Somebody
Cool.
else is here from Minnesota, too.
Dune Valley Models says hello.
Oh, hello. All right. So what we're going to do, first step on this, and let's see here.
You got this?
I got this.
Okay, I'm going to go work on that one.
Okay.
I may have to add another floor to it.
Okay. I'm just going to pull this one off to show people. Here was a Concord of my own that I did a little while ago. Let me get this where you can probably see the weathering and stuff on that. I don't know if, but anyway, you can see on the top everywhere. There's weathering on the whole thing, both sides. I did one with graffiti on it. So we're gonna try here. I'll just lay this here so you can see the difference in. This one was as bright and shiny as this one was before I started it. So that's where we're going to try to get to. Thank you about the Autorack. So we're going to try to get this to look like this, or close to it anyway. I'm going to do. He sent me 4, so I'm going to do a variety of weathering. Heavier on some, lighter on others. So if I can remember right in the past, what I had to do when I had sides like this that were attached to the top and I couldn't take a top off, I think I always started with the top. Because if anything ran, I would be able to get it off the sides before I started weathering the sides. So I think I will start with the tops. So anyway, this is what we're going to try to come to, is this right here. I'll leave this up here and I'll bring it down and compare it to it from time to time. But that's where we're headed. Small what? Cold. Well, better than a bad one. All right. So as I have stated in the past, I use nothing for my weathering but acrylic craft paint. So this is the little bottles. These are the apple barrel that you can find at Walmart for 59 cents a bottle. I've been working with this bottle now for about 3 months, and it's still about half full. Because I get when I do this, I thin everything out. It all gets to about an ink consistency, and that's how we do it. So, if we're going up to Minneapolis for any shows, yes, we will be. They have the one at the fairgrounds up there that I think we're going to come either this year or early next to. They do it twice a year, so we're planning on coming up to that. We're doing a train show next weekend in Rockford, Illinois. We'll be displaying there. We'll be doing 2 tables. We'll have a lot of our buildings there, and we'll be doing live streaming from it all next weekend, both days. All right, so I just kind of look here. I just kind of do a little practice to make sure I can see how I want to do this with a dry brush before I get started. Just to make sure I know how I have to control it when I get down close to those edges. It's always good to do this when you don't have paint on a brush, just to sort of get your pattern down. So the way I do this is I'll do both sides. I'll bring up both sides with the paint, flip it over, do the other side like that, and then I'll cross over the top, and then I'll do a general wipe off on all of this. All right, so I have I've got 3 cups of water like I usually do. I've got 2 brand new ones because the other ones just got so yucky. Here's the one I use for my rust. And then we'll have 2 new ones that'll be for white and black.
Brooks is wondering what the scale is.
This is in scale. All right, so here we go. So first thing, okay, the plate's in view so you can see what I'm doing. So here we go. Yeah, you can use an airbrush for weathering if you want, but trust me, you're not going to get the results and effects that I get, especially in scale. You will not get them. Because I have done airbrush before, and this by far gives you so much more control. And this comes from an art background. Okay, so we're just going to thin this down. Like we do, like you've seen me do on the rocks and everything else. We just get this down to an inconsistency.
MLW says I use Sharpies and my finger just wiped down the rust.
Sharpies are okay, but just watch the techniques that I do on this and you'll see why I go this route. For me, this just goes right back to my painting days. But everybody has the techniques they like, which is great. I mean, that's what this hobby is all about. Is you find something you like, go with it. Get my water right here, so I've got it closer. All right. So, get that dabbed off. I don't have any paint on my hands. Now here we go. I pretty much just run the whole car length. I'll be able to come back and do this, the wipe off quickly and easily. And I'm not getting any runs so far, so that's good. And I will start to pull off the white. All I'm doing is just dabbing the excess off of the brush, the excess paint off. Make sure everything is staying nice and wet because acrylic will dry on you pretty fast.
Anfield says hi.
Hello.
MLW says, yeah, I agree. There's so many ways to do stuff.
Exactly. What you're comfortable with, your comfort zone on how you want to do it. Sharpies, I found, if you can get really good ones, are great for doing graffiti.
Please ask what to paint.
I am weathering an Autorack. Now I'll come in here on the top and we'll start pulling off all these little bubbles and stuff. We'll make it a little smoother. And we'll just come up here on the sides, get rid of some of this still that's built up. And I've almost got this side done and the top done. And you're not going to see a whole lot here initially. The white just kind of blends into the silver. So you're not going to see a whole lot of change until we get to the rust. All I'm doing here, this is actually kind of like acting like a primer for all of my colors to come. Plus it just kind of dulls the silver down a little bit. Get some age to the car. I've got a second car over here that I'll start when I'm waiting for sides to dry. Okay, so now we'll come over here and do the same thing. I'll pick up the ink, well, paint ink. Well, thank you. This just comes from years of being an artist.
Brooks says, I have a question. Does the Autorack car have a specific company it's owned by or not?
The car, it says CNA. That's the reporting marks on it. So I don't know if that's Canadian National. I think it is because it says CNCA on it. So down here further with a like a website on it. So I would say this is Canadian National. I didn't look on the end of the box. I hardly ever do that. I just get to start working on stuff. And this just has there's no logo on it, Herald or anything. It's just the lettering, just the reporting marks. So far, this finish looks pretty good on here. Sometimes you'll find the finish coming from the factory. No matter what type of stuff you use, can be a bit of a pain to work with. It's like your paint just won't adhere to it, especially if you're like doing the powders and the pastels, and which I don't do at all because then when I dull coat it, you lose half of what you put on. Says I'm an HO guy and I'm waiting for Product Limited to re-release the 261. Also doesn't know I'm on a budget. We're all on a budget, trust me. I know that feeling. That's why I've been really reluctant to spend any really right now. But I found some car deals for myself this week. And they're cars that I've been looking for. So I just kind of had to bite the bullet and buy them. And biting the bullet for me is spending $50. So, and these cars came right under that price. So I was happy with that. I'm really happy because it's going to start building up the rosters. And by the time I get done doing all the special stuff I do to them, the weathering, the graffiti, all that, I'll make them just very good and personal pieces for myself. Canadian National is correct. Okay. That's what I thought. Like I said, I just didn't look at the box. So, okay. So we just about got the top of this one pretty welly faded down. Just making sure I don't have any blotches of white. Nope, that looks pretty good. You can kind of see a few areas where some white's coming through. That'll be perfect for bases for rust spots. That'll be great for that. So just neatening things up a little bit here. Says I need a lot more rolling stock waiting for some trade show. Yep. Okay, I gotta let this one dry because when I'm handling the sides and doing it, I've got to hold on to the top for a while. So I'm just going to set this one right here. So I got that in the light there. I can actually see a few areas that are still a little thick. So we'll just pull those off. There we go. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. You can tell when I do that, I'm happy with results. So that's good. That one's faded down. Got some nice areas there. You hardly ever see any of the white after I'm done. Like I said, this is just almost like a primer for me to base everything else off of. It does fade the colors down nicely. So I do use it for that. All right, here we go. Same as before. Brooks says, me too. The only model train store I know in my area is a full hour away. Wow. Well, an hour away is not bad. Some people don't even have a train shop anymore. Our closest one is about 30 minutes. It's Hobby Town down in Rockford. So you may think, oh, Hobby Town, oh, that's terrible. This one's actually a very good Hobby Town. If you look at some of our videos we posted right before Christmas, where we showed their place, we did a series of all their train stuff. About a fifth of their store is dedicated to model trains. It's one of the largest Hobby Town train collections there are out of any of the Hobby Towns around the country. So people were just stunned when they saw what our Hobby Town carries. John's the owner, great guy. If you're looking for anything particular, he'll special order it for you. We don't get sponsored by them, I don't get any discounts or anything. I just been shopping there for years, and so we just decided to show all the stuff he had at the holidays, which was a lot. He got a lot of inventory in from the manufacturers, and he had really good prices on some of the stuff. That's the thing, and he's, like I said, being the owner, he was able to work deals and stuff with some of the people that we have that were watching. And some people told us that he had stuff they couldn't even find at regular hobby shops, just that are just nothing, well, train stores that were nothing but train stores. So they were happy to see the videos, and he was telling me he was shipping stuff all over the country from the videos. He sent a bunch to California and a bunch to New York. Oh, well, that's good. It's always good when you can when you're traveling, it's always good if you can find a hobby shop on the way. Because what's nice about that is they may have a bunch of stuff that, you know, old stuff that your local shop may not have if they carry a lot of the new stuff. I like looking through old inventory. That's where I find a lot of what I do. Oh yeah, this is really starting to come together just like the last one. Nice. All right, so we'll just get some of this off the top here, just a little bit. These curved tops can pose a bit of a challenge, uh, especially when you start working the rust on. And I'll show you what I do with the rust. I start with just a little bit. I don't do a whole lot, just to set my patterns, and then I'll add extra on. All I'm doing when I take it off screen is to look at it in a different reflection off the light to make sure I'm getting all the blotchy stuff off. I've just got nice, smooth, even weathering going on, which I do. Hopefully by the time I get done with this one, the top on the other one will be dry, and I'll be able to handle it. If not, I'll leave it on its side and I'll just hold by the ends. So either way we go, we'll be heading to it here in a minute. And if you want to try this technique, I recommend you get some really cheap cars. That's how I did it to start off with. Again, go to a train show. Sometimes there's good used stuff at a hobby shop. Facebook Marketplace. Get yourself like $5, $10 piece cars that don't cost you much if you mess them up, and practice on them. That's all I did.
Rick Norman says I went to the TCD NMRA modelers meet yesterday.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, good time, but a lot of counters canceled due to the weather.
Oh, yeah. Weather probably was an issue.
MLW says if you guys can come up the weekend of April 11th, maybe the show, that's good. Then, like you mentioned, there's the fairgrounds here in May.
Yeah. I think Great Northern was actually telling us about the one coming up in April on the last stream. We've got some local stuff going on. End of the month here, we've got the one in Rockford, and then there's a club having an open house. So I'm probably going to attend that. Not for anything for sale, but we get a lot of the videos we get that we have on our channel right now are coming from, we're starting to filter in our own run stuff, but a lot of this is from train shows and clubs and things like that, so we've got to get out to those kind of things. But if there isn't, May will probably be more likely. And it seems like that one at the fairgrounds goes twice a year, and then there's one in the fall. So if we don't make it the spring, there's a good chance we can come in the fall. Oh, that's nice. There we go. Check, make sure I didn't have any come over the top on this side. Just a little bit, so I just gotta bring that back up over the top.
Head over to ICAST, what you're painting.
Somebody asked what I'm painting. I am doing weathering. I'm fading down right now. Autorack, Canadian National. I'm just getting the fade parts in just a little bit here. We're going to start doing the rust. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's got all that off there. And that's cleaned off there. And I've got everything the way I want it. Perfect. Okay, so I'll set this one off over here to the side. Go back to this one. Oh yeah, that white's really doing good. It's drying up really well. Yes. Okay, so now we're doing the sides. So I'll just set this here like this. I generally work perpendicular to myself when I do sides. Here we go. What this will do is it's going to fade down all the black stuff or any other colors that would be on here. Like I showed you on the other, it faded down my yellows and all of that. So just going to start going down the side here. I generally can't I go about halfway is what I do. And then I'll come back and start to clean it off because I don't want to get in. Well, I got to be careful. I just want to go up to the roof line. Now I'll get this brush really dry, and then we'll just start pulling off the white. And just leave a thin coat on top. It's knocking that black down on the bottom really well. And it's fading down the lettering. Like I said, and it's getting me my base for the rust. I got a slightly bigger brush. I didn't know how big these panels were going to be. So I just want to make sure I can span over 1 to 2 at the same time. Okay. You probably heard that. There's some idiot in the neighborhood now. He has himself a piece of junk that he thinks is a sports car. Okay. That's doing a good job. All right, we'll finish up down the side here. I'll probably go to the other one because I'll let this side dry pretty good before I flip it over and do the other side. You shouldn't hear the dogs barking today. I doubt it's raining pretty good out there right now. I doubt they'll send them out next door. Or if they do, it'll just be a quick, instead of letting them sit out there and bark for a while. They're pretty good about it. They don't let them sit out for longer than about 20 minutes. A couple times a day. Oh, well, I'm glad you found it. Okay. I'll kind of compare this to the other one here in a minute against those blacks down at the bottom and the lettering. We'll see if we've got enough of a difference. These definitely have a lot more panels than what I'm used to. Okay. That's pretty well got it. I'll take a look here and compare that black to the other. Oh yeah. You can definitely see this is much blacker than that. That's faded it down pretty good. Take a look here on the side now. Make sure all my streaks and everything are looking good. They are. All right, so I'll set it off the side, let that side dry. We'll do this side. I'm probably not going to get the rust and stuff done on this one today, maybe. I'm just using this one to keep me from getting antsy to work on that one, so that I don't rush it and flip it over, start working on another side until that one has had time to set. So instead of just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, I'm just going ahead and doing one of these things. Just so I've got to get them done anyway. So I just it just gives me. It depends on how fast the rust will dry as to whether I do rust on this one or not. If I don't put as much rust on that one over there, and it dries pretty quick, then I'll just run that whole car. I have to get another paper towel here in a minute and get one that's more dry. Yeah, yeah, it's best just to stay in this kind of weather. You've already got a thing from his school saying that as of right now they're still having class tomorrow, but a lot of the professors come in from areas that are getting hit hard today, so I'm expecting that to probably change. They come in from Madison and Milwaukee, which are getting lots of snow. And there's no real way except back highways to get to the school where he's at. So it's going to be a challenge for the teachers even to get in tomorrow. So we'll see. He hasn't taken any time off this semester yet for illnesses or anything, and so if need be, he can just take a day, not be worried about that back highway, because there's a back highway. He can take interstate halfway, and then it has to be a back highway. That's the only part that's probably going to be bad. The interstate probably won't be bad tomorrow morning. But the snow is, it's really slowed up. This thing was supposed to be in here last night and in tonight. Now it came in tonight and won't be ending until tomorrow afternoon. So it's just changed the whole dynamics of how to handle tomorrow. There we go. Pretty good up to there. Sure, yeah, that's looking good. Even from the angle, that's looking good. But it's definitely knocked that really bright, brilliant silver off of there, which is usually gone fairly fast once they hit the road in real life. So it's just road grime and dirt and everything. So this is really kind of the boring part right here, is doing the white. It really starts to get fun when you start doing the rust. That's why I'm doing this one, just to keep myself, like I said, I'd be getting antsy on the other one by now. And be wanting to see what I could do, and just not having the other side done. So this has slowed me up, so I'll definitely be able to get to that other side. And then we'll see how it goes, as far as whether I start on the rust on that or I finish the white on this one too. When I start the rust, I kind of have to run it on an entire car, single car anyway, because I have to mix my color to get my rust. And it's okay between cars, from one car to the next, if it's not exactly the same, but you want it to be exactly the same on the same car. So I mix up enough, and then I've got to make sure I've got enough to get that entire car done. Okay, I think that's pretty good. Again, it's got a nice knockdown on all that black down at the bottom for the frame. We got some good areas up here. That'll hit with a smaller brush, make it easier when I get to that stage. Look here, the reflections. Yep, that's good. All right, so I think this side and top are probably done at this stage. They look pretty good. Yes. Yeah, we're starting to see some good changes in color. All right. I think I'll get a new paper towel. That one's gotten pretty wet. All right. Great thing about acrylic, why I use this later, why I use this is if later I need to fix anything, I'm not happy with how something came out, simple fix, water on the brush, scrub it, you can start that area over again. Not that big a deal. That you cannot do that with thinner base paints without like having to redo the entire thing. I can do sections. if I need to, versus whole sides. And by keeping the paint thin like this, you can you have a lot more work time than normal with acrylic, because as you know, acrylics dry so much faster than uh, the thinner based, which is why a lot of people like the thinner, so they can work it for a while. But it also takes days sometimes for that stuff to dry. So that's why this is just thinned out, takes care of everything you need. All right, I gotta get this back in the reflection here. I always use the reflection. I always have a light set up to where I get that bounce right to me coming up, so that I can see where I've worked. So it's good to have a positionable light on your work table when you're doing things like this. Because if I was trying to do this with just a straight overhead light, I wouldn't be able to, I'd be having to move the thing all over my work table to see what I'm doing. And that is a lot of time wasted. There we go. Now let's take a look at that in the collection here. We got anything kind of funky? Doesn't look like it. There's a couple little spots here and there, but I can get those real quick. There we go. Doing fine on the sides here. The white's doing good. All right. Just a little bit down here, and most of this car is done except for the ends. They're quick. That's good. Blacks. The black, you got a few spots where the black's still like the original black, then we got the fade down, and there are spots which would just be natural where it's not going to be the entire thing, but areas of it. So we are good on that now. So now I'm just going to come in here and get some of this overage taken back out on this overhang. There we go. Okay, so that one. Yeah. Yeah, that's good. All right, so that one has got, once that's pretty well dried up, I'll get those ends really quickly. So I'll let it sit for a sec. That didn't take long, so we'll get this other side on this one done. I definitely think the Concords are easy to work with, where you can take that top off. So I wouldn't have to be worrying about anything getting over on it right now. But I don't think Concord ever made that. They stopped making the modern Autorack, so that version that I showed you guys a little bit ago, they don't have this style with these thinner panels. I don't believe they ever did those. Okay. Go do that little in down here, into this side. I'm just coming back in here, making sure I pretty much got everything here. Okay. That's pretty good. All right, let's get this little bit right here, and then all we got left are the ends. You can definitely see this is having kind of a finish of the finish on top of this they used to clear coat their paint. It's reminding me a lot of roundhouse cars. They're extremely hard to work with. They bubble. Well, like I said, I use this as a base coat, sort of. At least when I go to put the rust on, I've got a little bit of fresh paint on here that's on top of their finish coat. All right. That's pretty good. Okay. So we'll set that one right here. This one I should be able to do the ends real quick. Now I can really handle the top without any problem. So we just knock that down. So I had a little spot right there because it's acrylic. Just blip, blip, blip. Got that off. That's pretty good. Looking really good. Good. Just the other end. Hi, Oscar. We are weathering cars today. Just doing a basic paint job or the paintbrush weathering with gold paints. We've done this a couple times on the channel, but it's always kind of good to do a refresh. Especially, I like it when it's a challenge because it's a new type of car. I mean, I've done auto racks, but not this manufacturer. So it's nice to have something different to do. Good. So we got that. That looks pretty good. Top's looking good. Okay, so this one, I can go ahead and work with this one because those ends will be dry here in a sec. I'll go ahead and finish this guy off really quick. Let this set up just a minute. And then, so basically both will be, the fade downs will be done on both of these. When I go to put the rust on the end, wait till you see how that's going to look. It looks so good. And then you put the black on top of that. Boy. I'll show you what I'll show you my other one. Like I said, a viewer sent these to me to do for him. I'll show you one of mine here in just a sec. The results we're trying to get to. All right, that's good. Both ends there done. Okay, so here I'll show you mine. This is my Concours that I did. I'll put on the white. It'll be able to see it a lot easier that way. This has the white on here. You can see the rust streaks all the way down it. That's what we're getting ready to do next. And then you do the black on top of that. So that's where we're headed right there, is to get to that stage right there. Vertical struts? There aren't any vertical struts on this. Well, I mean, there are, but they're silver. The entire car is silver. So I won't be doing any color other than just rust black for dirt and the white for fade out. Jeff says hi. Hi, Jeff. All right, so we are done with the white. So now I have my big bowl of my rust color. All right, we'll swap paint, or we'll swap, not paint, we'll swap water. Bring my rust water out. Rust water. Okay, so two colors I use. This is Deco Art. These you have to find at like a Hobby Town or a Michael's. Not Hobby Town, Hobby Lobby. I use Deco Art Americana. I use Honey Brown and Burnt Orange. I do equal parts of each, or thereabouts. I haven't used these in a while, so I'm going to get a good mix here going. Make sure it's nice and shaken. Okay. Another thing I got to do is I'm going to change out the paper towels. I'll save these. I'll put them down here on this plastic I've got. Let those dry a little bit. We'll start a new set of paper towels for the rust. Like that. All right, so I'll just put a good glop of that in, make sure I have enough to cover the entire car. I don't have to worry about it. I got more bottles of these. This one's getting kind of thin, but I always have lots of bottles of these around. Okay, so there are my two colors. Once I get going on this, if I see that one color is a little more dominant than the other, then I'll add some of the other one. But this just comes with practice and knowing what you want for your colors. And I can see right now I got to add a little more brown to it. Didn't quite get enough of that. This time I'll just put that straight down in there. That should do it. There we go. That's what I want. Steve says, awesome hobby. Yeah, it is, Steve. It's a good hobby. All right. No, I haven't seen any ladybugs in a while. Starting to see the stupid box elder bugs, but not the ladybugs. Okay, that looks... I went a little too far to the brown side, so we'll just add a little more of that in there. Yeah, the ladybugs, although I haven't used a lot of acrylic paint, I haven't used any acrylic paint in here in a while, so now that the smell is here, the ladybugs may come out of hiding. They're attracted to the smell. Apparently, I've covered this before. Apparently, it's got the smell of the pheromones for them, and I'll come in here when I've been working on a lot of stuff during a day, and I'll find maybe one or two sitting along my bowl here eating the paint. Just munching on it. Or if I'm up on the layout using it, they'll follow me wherever I go on the layout when I'm working with the acrylics. I guess it's not bad for them because I'll still see them the next day. I'll have 3 and then I'll have 3 more. Next day, just following me more around the layout. All right, I'm getting the thinner part. I'll leave this side completely thick, non-thin down, because I do like having a little thicker here and there. But I am going to make this side here really thin. This half of it. This is where you got to have some courage, is when you get ready to hit the car with this stuff. Because this changes everything. That's why I said buy yourself some cheap cars to practice on. Don't do it on a $40, $50 car to start off with, or $60 car. Go find a bunch of used $5, $10 cars to start with. Okay, I think we're pretty good here. We got the mix good. I probably have enough here to do both cars, so I may wind up doing both. We'll see. All right, get the brush pretty well cleaned out, get all the glops out. Get it cleaned off on the paper towel. Okay, here we go. So let's see. I think, like I said, I think I'm going to tackle the top first. I'm just going to feel everything, make sure everything's dry, because I don't like paints mixing on top from one coat to the next. All right, let's do this. A little thinner here, I think. I really want it as a water. All right, here we go. Now this, when I get to this stage, I do not do the entire car because I want to make sure I leave this to where I can work off what I need to get off here immediately that I don't want on here. I don't want it setting. Oh, that's looking good. Flip it around. So I did come over the other side. So we're just going to work our way down the car this way. And then I'll show you where we're at. Oh yeah. I'm getting the result I want now. Try to make sure both sides are looking about the same. I'm just going to drag some right off the top now. Get some of that silver back. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to be able to show this to you on the camera. I'll try. All right. You see you've got a little bit of a rust kind of going in. We definitely have it lipping over the top pretty good. I want to come in here and I want to get some of this cleaned off the sides completely. This is where you just got to spin things around. I'm going to leave it heavier on the end right here. Whenever I see them, videos or myself, when I've looked down on them, the ends are always a little rustier. I'm really pleased with that. That looks really good. Okay, so we're just going to keep going down the side. Keep getting this nice and wet here, nice and liquidy. Hope I'm not terrifying the guy if he's watching right now. Whose cars these are?
What?
I said, I hope I'm not terrifying whose cars these are right now.
Greg Northern says you would have fit right in at the meeting yesterday.
Oh, really?
Custom Arts asked if this is N scale.
Yes, this is. Somebody asked if this is in scale. Yes, this is in scale.
Arski says, I'm done with my painting for the day. Lightning struck pretty close.
Oh, yeah, you want to get out of lightning, that's for sure. Yeah, those storms going through Florida could be pretty nasty. That's probably a very big understatement. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Now I'm getting the look. Get it? I come in here, I cut across here and there, so I get kind of that streaking that you see, like where you know underneath that's where the ribbing is, because it seems to collect on that ribbing on almost every car. So you just want to kind of simulate that.
Custom Arts says it's kind of like the Ferromax Autorack.
Like the Ferromax Autoracks. Yeah, it pretty much they all kind of look alike. These are Canadian Nationals. There we go. Now we're getting it. Almost got the top done on this one. Oh yeah. I think I'm going to take a little bit off right here so it matches more of this end, but I'm going to leave the ones in the middle. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I like that. Okay. I think I took a little too much off the side right here, so I'm going to come back in. I'm going to add just a couple little spots. There we go. Yeah. Now, see when the black goes on here, our final coat, you'll see what happens. It makes all this stuff just look so great. It just adds that last little bit of oomph that you need to make it look like the real thing. Again, I'm going to put a little more down at the end. Just like that. Looks good on the side. That's looking really good on the side, actually. Which is exactly what we want. This right here. There we go. Oh, yeah. That's getting it. Nice. Perfect. All right. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but it did everything I wanted it to do. You can see right here, we've got some nice areas right along this edge right here. It's perfect. So when I start bringing the streaks down, it's just going to be just right. I'm going to concentrate mostly on keeping the rusting on the ribs, the supports, the right there, those lines, keeping it out of probably the middle part here. You know, this is probably dry enough, I could probably just go ahead and lay it down and get started with it. Let me, I want to do just a little bit right here, fade this out just a little bit more. Right there. Perfect. All right, let me get this back from a distance and see how we're doing. How's that going to look up on the track? Oh, that's going to look great up on the tracks. All right, let's just do this. It should be dry over here enough, because that's the side I worked on first. So let's just put this right here. All right, again, test of courage, as Bob Ross always says. Craziest trains I've ever what? Caught. I guess as far as seeing them goes, no, nothing really. We just mostly all we see around here is just the basic stuff. We don't get a lot of the good things. Now, when I used to go rail fan a lot when I lived back in New Mexico and Omaha, we used to see a lot of cool stuff. But I haven't really caught a whole lot here. All right, so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to start on the ends and work my way in from there, because with this extra rust that's up here, the ends have got to be a little heavier. So we're going to just see what we can do here. I probably shouldn't be doing this yet. I bet this isn't dried. Well, yeah, it is. All right, let's see what we can do. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of, that without being able, with having this on top. There we go. We've got to be a little more careful there on that, on the ends. And I'm just going to have to be really careful when I get up to the roof line. It can't be a full brush, that's for sure. There we go. Make sure I didn't mess anything up here. It all looks still okay. Oh yeah, looks fine. Well, that looks really good right there, actually. I'll get away from my rust spot there, and we'll start working our way down. Okay. Same thing. Now I'm just going to make sure this has got kind of an area right here. Boy, it sure likes to creep up that side. That's why I was really hoping, when I was talking to him and he said the top comes off, I was really hoping it was this top up here like the Concours do. And I'll get there. It's no big deal. It's just going to take a little extra time to do it. Awesome, fine. The black, when I work the black in, that'll do that. All right, get back. Go on. Get back there. Oh, Crochet Lady says, yeah, the ribbing is what I call vertical struts. Sorry. Yeah. No problem. Got a little bristle there I had to get off. So now I'm starting to stagger panels that are more rusted than others. So I don't know how well you're going to see it, but this one's got a little more, this one's got a little more, these two have a little more, a little less, a little more right here. So it's starting to go down the thing, getting a variety of rusted areas kind of coinciding with where it is coming across on the top. So now I'll come down, I'll get this in right here. I'm not trying to get to the top completely. I think I'll just keep that from there. Okay, so that's what I got to do. Okay, so that makes sense. So what I did this time is I put the paint a little lower, not right up underneath the roof line, so it won't bleed as much. So it's just the irregularities of each car and how they how it all comes together. John says, watching this video work. Somebody said, seeing this, you can't imagine how long the skyscrapers are going to take. Actually, the skyscrapers will probably actually go quicker than this. Just simply due to the fact that I'll put a little weathering here and there on them, but for the most part, I mean, you look at big buildings downtown, other than down like at the street level, most of them are pretty clean. They just kind of stay that way. A little bit of weather here and there, but not a whole lot. I will do some fade down in spots, but I'll probably actually do that with just the rattle can paint. I won't try to do that by hand. Because it'd take me forever and a day. So yeah, I haven't quite figured out. I'm gonna have to do some experimenting. So I've got a couple of smaller towers that I've had done that I think I'll probably just experiment on, like I did with cars initially, till I get what I want as far as an effect goes. All right, so that side looks really good. I need to look at it from my angle now. What happened here is when I was working the ends, holding on to the ends, I rubbed a little bit of the paint off, the rust paint off. I'm pretty happy with that. So what I do need to do though is I need to come down here. There's always a lot of garbage and weathering down along the sill areas and stuff. So I'm gonna just come in here and do a few spots, just make this a little dirtier along the bottom. Glenn Kerwin says, big fan, thank you. Oh, well, thank you, Glenn. Just Glenn Kerwin. Oh, Win? No, Glenn. Len. Okay. I'm sorry, buddy. He's in the other room doing stuff, so it's one of those things I have a hard time hearing him. Especially since right here the gutter is going like crazy right now. Amount of rain we're getting in preparation for the snow we have coming tonight. Says this hobby is all about patience and going slow. I'm really learning that. Yes, it is. Yeah, you got to take your time. Oh, I hear the 3D printer firing up. I guess you got all those measurements made, huh? Good. Okay. That is fine. So, what I think I'll do while I'm waiting for this to dry so I can flip it over is I'll get the ends, the two ends, because I can do that by just holding underneath right here. Let's see how this is going to look up on the tracks. Oh, yeah. That looks nice. Okay. A few spots here and there I want to lighten up just a little bit. just push the paint back down off the top. Again, because I'm working with acrylics, you can do this. You get exactly the way you want it. See how that is now? Oh, there we are. That's good. I'm just kind of holding it up over here against where it's going to be on the tracks underneath the LED lights, the white lights, versus the yellow one that I've got here, the more yellow one. And it's looking fine. Okay, so let's get the ends done. Just gently hold this. And we're just going to flip, flip, flip. Like that. Come in here and pull it off. There we go. Perfect. Left some rust where I wanted it. Got the rest off. Perfect, perfect, perfect. There we go. Nice, like that. Okay, flip it around. Try not to rub off any of the acrylic I've got here until I get her dull coated. There we go. Same effect as the other. So we got a nice little bit of rust on all the, underneath all the raised areas and a little bit on the sides. So that's perfect. So those ends are done, top's done. All we got left to do is just the other side. I think this is getting pretty close to being dry right here. I'm going to take a quick drink right quick. Well, I'm just letting that set a little bit. We'll flip it over and do exactly the same thing. And then we'll decide if we're going to go any further today or not, or I may let this set up. The thing I have found with the black is really a strong paint. I sometimes like to give it a full day for this to just set, so all the areas that are in all the cracks and stuff are completely dry before I do the black. So what I may wind up doing is making a video tomorrow showing how I do the black, and then we'll post that tomorrow night. So just be kind of a continuation of today, but it'll finish up what we're doing. There's nothing different. The techniques are exactly the same as what I did right here. All I'm going to be doing is going over the rust with the black paint. All right, so let's see how we're doing here. Want to check the tops, make sure we haven't lost any of our effects. Sides there look good. Yep, actually you got a little extra rust came in when it bled, but that's fine because it'll look more natural. It actually looks more natural. So this end came out, both ends came out just the way they need to with all the extra rust on them. So we got a few panels here, a little dirtier, some that are a little cleaner. So that's exactly what we wanted. So now we shall flip it and do the other side. A couple little spots here, just some cleanup. Yep. Oh, that's coming in looking just like the CSX I have compared to it. So we're looking good. Looking good. All right. I'm getting a lot of stuff from the bleeds. I don't want this sitting in the paint, so we'll move down to here. And again, we will, you know what I could do is I could do the ends in black, just real quick to show you guys how the ends come out, because those I never really worry about. You never see them. So I'm going to show you what the end result is with the black on the rust there. And then we'll do the video tomorrow. Okay, let's see. Just like before, I'm going to try to very carefully hold the top so I don't take any off. I've got it. I even knew it the minute I put the brush down. Thought, I got too close. There we go. I got it back off. Okay, I'm going to have to get another paper towel, I think. That one's gotten pretty saturated. When it starts getting like this, you need to get another paper towel. Let's get another one, set it on top of that one. Because if it gets that wet, you're not going to get your brush dry enough. That's why you got to change. No, it was requested no graffiti. Somebody asked if we were going to graffiti them. But the owner of them didn't want any graffiti, which is completely understandable. And it'll enable to get it back to them a lot quicker too. If I was to put graffiti on these, we'd be adding a couple more weeks of work. So. Now I'm coming here and I'm going to really pull that one back to silver. There we go. Perfect. All right. That's looking pretty good. It always seems like on a new car, once I get one side done, or whatever I'm doing, second side just flies. Ah, see, I didn't get the bleed that time because I put the main paint down low. So now I know what to do with these. Again, like I said, it's just learning how to use what to do on a new car, new manufacturer. I mean, I've worked on Katos before, but not something with the bright silver like this. That's looking pretty good. The thing is, it doesn't have to be a complete match to the other side because you ain't never going to see both sides at the same time. So it's just got to be in the general area of weathering. Now see, I didn't get all the way up to the top, so I didn't get the bleed. But now I'll get the brush cleaned off. Now we'll go up here and I'll bring it up with the wet that we got down below, but that's not enough to make it bleed up into the ribs up there. And then I go and do that. Oh, that's all right. That's pretty good. Okay, so pull off, 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 off. Really light touch here. Oh, I think I'm going to add a little more right here on the end. Maybe this one too. Okay. That looks pretty good. I nice. I need to get a little more here though. I just keep taking too much off when I come back in and I wipe it off. I need to just kind of, these two panels, I just need to kind of do them and not touch them for a second. Go. Don't touch them for a second. Let them dry a little bit. Let them set up. Then I'll compare it to the other one. I'll show you where we're at. Oh, there we go. Yeah, just didn't rush it. How's that now? Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I do go through a lot of paper towels. There we are. Okay, so I'm going to show you the comparison. So here is rusted, here is not. Now you can see where the difference is coming in. I mean, it's really starting to really show the weather and the age. So, let's see. Yeah, it's not really zoomed in enough. Tell you what, when we get done, I'll get the camera down and we'll do it. We'll show a comparison between the two. Right now, I'll do the blacks on the end real quick. So, new bowl. Sure, I have no dust in there. There's my black one. Switch over to the new water. Get the black. Just shaking it real quick. Just going to put a tiny little bit in there. I use my big bottles of paint here because I've got that bottle of black and I got this bottle of black. I use those for holding parts down when I've got those big skyscrapers I'm gluing together until I get them nice and level. All right, so let's see here. Tip this up. So we're going to do these ends right here and get the black on that. Now what this does to the black, because the rust looks a little fakey right now. Doesn't quite look natural. A little too orange. But what I found was, because I always like putting black on for dirt and filth, that if I didn't have it that orange, I had a lighter color, more red to it and stuff, when I put the dirt on, it killed the other color. It killed the rust. So you kind of have to get that kind of fakey looking orange on there. And that just comes like, again, buy $5, $10 cars and experiment around until you find the good combination. Okay, got a fresh paper towel. So let's do this thing. Let's do it. All right, perfect. Glad you joined us. All right, so we're going to do the end right here real quick. Same thing we did with the orange. I'm going to get a little more of the black paint. This is when it really starts to work well. This will get us everything we need. Yeah, that got the end nicely. It just does something to that orange. I don't know what, but it just does something to that orange. Toxic sludge. Yeah, I guess it could be. There we go. Perfect. Yeah. You're not gonna be able to see the details on this, I'm afraid. But it really does a good job of getting all that. It knocks down those colors. It gives me my streaks, the splotches, everything from the dirt. It just makes it perfect. Should I or shouldn't I do just the top so we can see how that looks? Which means I have to run the entire top. I don't know. Well, it sure does. It sure does a nice job on that. Well, thank you, Arsky. No, 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 no. If I do it, that means I don't. I have left it out. I have left less than I have to do later. And I'm getting kind of tired. Been at this for 2 hours weathering. That's about my limit for my eyes. Getting pretty close. Let's see. Mm, all right. Varsity says, I have a question about foam. The greases, did you put anything in the greases, or did you leave them with foam more thick? Oh, on the table up there? Somebody asked about the foam. Um, I did a variety of things depending upon how big the crack was between the two pieces of foam that were together. If it was too much of a crack, then I used a spray, like the gap filling spray stuff. But if it wasn't, then I just used some paper towels jammed down in there because I knew once I started putting my scenery material on, that the glue that was in that would basically turn that into a hard paper mache that would fill those cracks. So it just depends on how big the hole was. Woodland Scenics what? Oh, I guess. Well, I guess if you have big enough gaps, you probably have to do something like that. But I would still go with the spray foam versus something like that because it's very. You can get it right where you want it, and it'll expand and fill any of the gaps that you have. So I would still go with probably that. I see a lot of guys use that method. I've seen a lot of guys use the same method that I do up online. So it's got to be a fairly decent way to do it. Okay, that black is looking pretty good at this point. So I'll just finish the top up and then I'll call it quits on that and I'll do the sides on a video. But that won't be today. Gauge Collective says hi. Oh, hey, Gauge Collective. Yeah, he says small creases where they butt into each other. Yeah, I would go with the spray foam. Any small gaps like that, it'll fill it. It'll also help adhere the foam together. So it acts like a glue. Oh, that side looks really good. This side's looking really good too. Finish this side up over here. Then I'll show you guys the comparisons between the two. Gauge Collective asks what you're doing. I am weathering an Autorack. I had some cars sent to me by a viewer, and he saw how I did my other ones, and wanted his to look the same. So I am doing a 4-pack for him. Just about got the top done. Oh, that came out really nice. Yeah, that came out really good. Came over the tops on the sides really good. Down into here. Have a little of that black off so you can see the rust come through. There we go. Perfect. So that's what I wanted. All right, so I went ahead and did the black on the top, and glad I did because now I've got it set up for doing the others later. I am not going to do the sides because once I get going on that, I'll just do the whole thing and I'm ready to be done for the day. So. Yeah, those ends came out pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. Kind of pop a little bit of that off right there. Oh, there we go. How about this other side? No, that side's fine. Okay. There we go. Let's see how that looks up here. Oh, that looks good up here on the tracks. Couple little spots here and there where it came over. Just clean those up just a little bit with a little bit of damp brush. Again, this is why I like working with acrylics. Oh, there we go. That did it. Okay. All right. So I'll show you the tops here to start off with. I'll bring the camera down. I'll show you what we've got going. Get this really cleaned. Okay. So there you go. That's how we do an Autorack. Well, most of it. I mean, the black's done on the top. Basically, I just have to do the same thing on the sides. So, and then a little neaten up with my fine brush. I'll come in and I'll highlight some rust areas and some black areas with it later. I'll probably show that in the video we'll make for it, but that pretty well takes care of it. So we were trying to get it to match this, and I do believe we did that. So, because this is my Autorack that I did for myself, and I'm really happy with it. So, like I said, this is getting back in the swing of it. I just ordered all those new cars, so those will be coming in this next week. And of course, you know me, I've said that it'll never be a clean car on the layouts. I'll have to get those done fairly quickly. So let me get the camera here, and we'll see what we can do about getting a look at this. All right. So let me get over here on this side so I don't get such a glare from the light. So you can see all the nice streaks on there, how that's coming across all these little areas like the ribbing that's underneath. If you've ever been like on an overpass and been able to look down on the trains when they go under, you know, they all have that kind of a look. So this one just has the white fade down done on it so far. This one's got the white and the rust and the black starting. So let's show you what the side looks like. Here is a side, and here is a side in comparison. Let's see if I can get away from that light bounce. So you can see it's just a hint of rust here and there. We're not trying to go for a really heavy rust job. So this one will get probably maybe even a little bit less than this one had. So it's even a little finer of that. So like I said, I'll do a video of this probably tomorrow when I work on these and I get these two finished up. And there's 2 more to do. There's 4 in this set. So that let me get down here a little bit closer. There you go. Now you can kind of see. I like to pull panels out and do that where you can see where it's like rusted the entire panel. And I always try to get the ends a little bit. So it works out pretty good. I'll toss these back up like this. Let's see if we can see a nice down the. Let's see here. Is that going to be able to see this? Let me put it up here on the track. I might be able to.
Very Cody asked, you know any places to order
radiators? The radiators themselves, I don't know. Somebody asked if I knew where to order stuff like that. Probably if you just did a search online. I know there's guys that are 3D printing all those kind of parts. So, but anyway, so what I'll have to do here is the black that I have up here will get rolled over on the sides. Everything here will get covered in the black, and it'll make those orange areas stand out like they did here. So this is what is going to happen with all of that. So get back there, you can see how those are really starting to come out looking really good. All right, so we will do that next, probably tomorrow. We'll have the video up for that pretty soon. So if you want to see these, see how they finish, be sure to go check out our channel. We've got some 1,200 plus videos, and like and subscribe so that and hit that notification so you'll see when the new videos come up, like finishing up projects like this, or when we do more building like this, when we start doing more of the big 3D prints, because we're getting ready to do, this will be moved right here. We're going to be, so you'll see all of those kind of things coming too, along with our run sessions, because I got all my trains here. I didn't get around to getting that done. How close are you to 5,000? Oh yeah, we can't seem to get there. We can't get to those 5,000 subscribers for some reason. We've kind of hit a stall period. We're only, I think, like 30 subscribers away. So how many? So we need 32 subscribers to hit the 5,000. Yep. Are we going to get any Ferromix units or rolling stock? Yes, we sure are. I love their new engines, paint schemes on their new engines. So we'll definitely be getting those. Right now, I'm just concentrating on working on, as you can see here, here's my I'm working on weathered cars. I'm kind of into that mode right now. So you can see my containers back there all weathered up. So I've got some more cars coming this week that I'm going to be weathering, and then we'll get into getting some more engines. And I don't know what we're going to be getting, but we'll be getting something. So, and also we're going to be working on Skid Row right here with the big bridge back here, the big bridge build. This is going to be our Skid Row on either side. We're going to have a shelf here with all the rundown buildings, the same on the other side of the bridge. Just lots of garbage and things and open fields and junk cars and all kinds of stuff. So we've got all of that coming. Like I said, if you want to like and subscribe, you'll be able to keep up on all the build stuff. Because tomorrow I'm probably going to be sanding this as well. And we'll do a video tomorrow after I get it sanded and primered. And then we'll be doing the dry brush techniques on getting them painted. So if you haven't seen a dry brush technique, want to see how I'm going to handle painting these with that, that would be a good thing to to do. So, like I said, next weekend we are going to be doing live streaming at the train show that we're going to both days. We will be there probably live streaming about 6 hours each day, along with talking to the model guys and things like that, the club guys. So if you want to check that out, again, like and subscribe so you'll know when we're going to be on there. And I think we'll be probably going from like 10 to maybe 10 to 4 or 10 to 3, something like that, or somewhere there. But anyway, so I think that'll do it. We're going to go run some errands and all that kind of fun stuff before the snow gets in here. And then we'll be putting up some videos on these builds tomorrow. Those are the two right here that match these. Those are the two that we're taking to the train show for sale. Good. I'm glad. Great. I'm glad you're going to join us, Bullfrog. It's going to be a great weekend. So we'll be having a lot of fun with that. We're just going to set the camera up on the table, or we have two tables. We're just going to set it up so you'll be able to just people watch people going by, in addition to walking around and talking to everybody and doing all that. So there'll be lots of things going on. So, and going and see the layouts. So anyway, we'll probably have some kind of a stream in the middle of the week. It'll probably be when I get more of this done, and we maybe start doing some of that painting. So, like I said, so if you want to, like and subscribe so you won't miss it. So hope everybody stays safe. If you've got the weather going your way, if you have to get out, be careful on that ice and snow out there. Because, we're talking massive amounts of snow in this area. 3 feet of snow in areas and stuff. It's like one of the biggest snows of the season. We're almost out of the season. So take care. Let's see. You can also call me Frog or Jerry. Okay. Sounds good. So anyway, we'll see you guys on the next stream. Like I said, I hope you enjoyed seeing how I handle these big Autoracks. Next ones are fairly decent sized cars that we're going to be weathering, and I'm also going to be putting hand painted graffiti on them as well. All right. So take care, everyone, and thanks again for being here. And thanks for subscribing, and we will see you on the next one.